Well, here we are. Welcome to Mia's World, another incredible edition of Mia's World. I don't know what you call a podcast. Is it an edition? No, that's a newspaper. I guess it's what would we call it? A program, I guess. Anyway, so here we are. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Mia's World. And it's a sort of a blustery March day. Welcome to March comes in like a lion, they say. So it's a little bit like that. But anyway, we have an incredible guest today, dialing in from Italy, Palermo, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And that is Giuseppe Orso, whose music I just found out about. And I'm sorry I didn't know about it earlier, but you'll hear a lot of it later. Giuseppe, welcome to Mia's World.
Good evening, Mia. Good evening to everyone. And
I'm
thanks for
so,
inviting me.
ah, my pleasure. It's your music is sort of dreamy and evocative, and you've got a lot of styles going on. But before we get into your music,
Yeah.
Giuseppe, we're going to be talking a lot about your latest CD, Nake. Before we hear that dreamy music of yours, first, we always start the show with a medley of music based on the date, and the date being March 2nd, except for the theme, which is always Moonlight in Vermont. And Giuseppe, you said you love that standard, Moonlight in Vermont.
Yes, very much.
Well,
So
you'll have to play it
romantic.
sometime. Giuseppe's trio will have to play Moonlight in Vermont. That was the Stan Getz version of that beautiful standard by Carl Susdorf. Then we heard Lou Reed from the Velvet Underground with the great Walk on the Wild Side. Lou Reed was born March 2nd, 1942. Then the Brazilian bassist Nilson Mata, born March 1st, 1949. He was playing with Ronnie Ben-Hur, The Look of Love, Burt Bacharach's great tune. Then the great Glenn Miller Band with another song that you said you love, Giuseppe, Moonlight
Yeah.
Serenade.
Moonlight Serenade.
Right? Great. Another Moonlight song, born March 1st, 1904. March 2nd, 1967, at the ninth Grammys, Frank Sinatra won Best Record, Strangers in the Night. So we heard Frank singing that. And then we heard Giuseppe himself from the CD Live in Mondello with the Tears for Fears cover of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. And didn't you told me how you, I don't know how you did it. You slept and you dragged and you got the piano and all the trio down to the beach in Mondello
Yes.
in Italy
Yes.
for the
Yes, it
recording.
was so hard to realize, but I was so happy when I rent this piano, and in the early morning, the man brought the piano on the sand on the beach. It was just wow.
That's incredible that you did
And
not get sand into the piano, right?
yes, it took a lot. It is a long time to plan the free songs session, but was just all was played in 2 hours, from 3 to 5 p.m.
On the beach.
Cause the light on the beach. Yes.
Oh, must have been beautiful. The result was worth the challenge.
Thank you, Mia.
Uh,
Thanks.
Live in Mondello, Giuseppe Orso. Then we
You have
heard
to come in Mondello. You have to come in Mondello.
oh, I'm there. I'm
You
there.
have
On
never
my way.
been.
No, no, not yet.
Just come, you and Jade, to
Hey,
swim.
we're packing. Okay, so Eddie Lockjaw Davis, born March 2nd, 1922, saxophonist and trumpeter, with the great Rodgers and Hammerstein tune, People Will Say We're in Love, from Oklahoma. And then the wonderful composer Mark Blitzstein, born March 2nd, 1905, with the Boston Gay Men's Chorus singing Never Get Lost, Take Me to the World. Mark Blitzstein, famous for rock, The Cradle Will Rock. And cradle is significant because the word nake, which is the name of your latest CD, I
Yeah.
believe in a Sicilian dialect, means cradle. Is that right?
Eh, yes, comes from old ancient Greek. It means goat
Goat skin.
skin or
Yeah,
any goat skin or animal skin in
right?
general. Leather, yes, leather skin, and was the material was made
The cradle.
the bed for the
The cradle.
baby,
There you are.
the little baby. Yeah.
and the cradle does rock. And that was Mark
It's
Blitzstein.
as a Naga, the Sicilian dialect or Puglia dialect. I mean, it's South Italy. It's Naka. The
Naka,
original name is
Naka,
Naka.
Naka. Okay. It's all related
Naka,
though.
yes.
Nake, Naka, right?
Yeah.
I love the language and the linguistics. Then we heard the great Desi Arnaz and his orchestra. Desi, born March 2nd, 1917, and Desi and his orchestra from 1946 with Babalu. And then Karen Carpenter died too young, born March 2nd, 1950, with We've Only Just Begun. Beautiful tune, beautiful singer. Then Giuseppe picked a few composers that he loves, including Ravel, and that was the pianist Jean-Yves Thibaudet, and the prelude of the suite Le Tombeau de Couperin. That's a gorgeous suite by Ravel. Then John Cowsill, the rock drummer, born March 2nd, 1956, with Darlin. Miles Davis, March 2nd, 1959, and he recorded Kind of Blue on that date, and that's one of the most best-selling jazz albums in history. And that was
Best-selling album ever, yeah.
right, unbelievable. And my favorite color is blue and green, and that was Blue in Green
Wow.
from the Kind of Blue album. Country singer Larry Stewart, born March 2nd, 1959, with Bluest Eyes in Texas. John Bon Jovi.
Bon
Bon
Jovi.
Jovi, born March 2nd, 1962, with Always. The Italian-born composer Tony Croatto, his real name was Hermes David Faustino Croatto Martinez, but he was an Italian singer best known for his interpretations of Spanish folklore songs, and that was Canción de la Serranía. Then we heard, this is an incredible thing, Giuseppe, from your album, there's an album that sort of combines ancient music with jazz, and that was Guillaume Dufay, Nupe Rosarum Flores, with the Bellini Ensemble, and you were playing drums on that, right?
Yeah, drums, yes. And I was the tutor and arrangement. I arrange the music.
Such a beautiful blend of the jazz and the ancient music, and I love Guillaume Dufay. I learned him in Renaissance music class, and it's a gorgeous thing, and it's
Yeah,
very
thanks.
indicative of your love of blending styles. And finally, we heard the great Elvis Presley, whose song Lottie Miss Claudie, the single cover, was released by Elvis on March 2nd, 1956. So that was our little medley. A couple of other birthdays in March 2nd. Sholem Aleichem, the great Sholem Aleichem writer, born March 2nd, 1859. Ludovico Spantoni, a Renaissance composer, born March 2nd, 1955. Dr. Seuss, who's a lot in the news now, they're trying to cancel him out, born March 2nd, 1904. Orrin Keepnews, producer and founder of Riverside Records, born March 2nd, 1923. The James Bond actor Daniel Craig, March 2nd, 1968. And the American journalist and author Tom Wolfe, famous for The Right Stuff, born March 2nd, 1931. Also Chris Martin of Coldplay, 1977. This day in history, the film King Kong premiered in 1933. The Concorde plane took off on its maiden flight in 1969. 1861, the government printing office purchased the first printing plant. 1866, the first United States company to make sewing needles by machine. In 1867, US Congress created the Department of Education. And in 1917, the Jones Act, Puerto Rico Territory was created and US citizenship granted. And 1968, 19-year-old Peggy Fleming won her third consecutive World Ladies Figure Skating Championship. I remember that. And 1974, the first class postage was raised from 8 to 10 cents. Now it's what, 55? And in 1940, racehorse Seabiscuit finally won the big cap in the final race. And there we are for the day in history. Today's holidays: National Banana Cream Day. It's Free Dentist Day, so get to the dentist. It's International Rescue Cat Day. It's National Sportsmanship Day. It's Old Stuff Day. It's Peace Corps Day, and Read Across America Day. And now to our fun part of the show. We turn the gloomy news into a little fun of news. So we turn the gloom into sparkle. Here comes the rhyming news in Limerick. Is it possible in one day to lose 15 bill? No way. Well, yes, Elon Musk, just from dawn to dusk, did just that. What can one say? What's the deal with Bitcoin, you ask? As mysterious as the mask. Do you wear one or not? What's the bigger plot? Let's all head to the beach and bask. Cryptocurrency is confusing for investors, winning or losing. I'll stick with blue chip, which doesn't much dip. I find the stock market amusing. Now this news headline is fun about Century 21. We thought it was sunk and gone kerplunk, over, closed, and done. But now what's this we hear? It's revving up into gear. Just count to 10. It may open again. Shopaholics shed a tear. Megan's not singing the blues. She and Harry are back in the news. A new partner? Oh my, it's Spotify. Any new podcast clues? Expecting soon baby too. Appearance on Oprah? Woohoo. To the queen not too loyal, no longer royal. She's quite the ingenue. NASA deserves a crown. Their rover just touched down. So are there bars on planet Mars? Let's book the next flight, hands down. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West put to the final test. It's about time, even in rhyme, for divorce from the lover's nest. The awards shows are off and running, some speeches dull, some cunning. Golden Globes the first, some stuff unrehearsed, some fashion chic and stunning. The nominees were on Zoom, one host in the Rainbow Room, one in LA, that was Tina Fey, Amy Poehler in full bloom. No buzzing red carpet grand, due to COVID we understand, but Jane Fonda, the shrine, quite simply divine, like the crown and nomad land. It's International Rescue Cat Day, so pet and purr away. Tuxedo or Persian, great furry diversion. Now where is my Chardonnay? And that is our rhyming wrap up of the week in the news in rhyme. And now we've got my wonderful guest, Italian born and lives there too right now. There's Giuseppe Urso, drummer, pianist, composer, arranger, conductor, born in Palermo, Italy. You've played big bands, symphony orchestras, you're leader, you're a sideman. You've performed with everyone from Patty Austin and Diane Shore to Phil Woods, Bill Carruthers, Les McCann, Wayne Bergeron. The list goes on and on. Let's see, you were one of the founders of the International School of Music, Palermo Jazz, teaching director, held international seminars and internships. You've got lots of projects going on. You're a timpanist, drummer, and jazz pianist. You teach, you mentor, and you're the head of the jazz department at the Alessandro Scarlatti Conservatory of Music in Palermo, correct?
Correct. That's my only and main job now. I teach at a conservatory only because
And
I'm
that,
getting older. I'm
get,
55 years old.
well, you're a young spring chicken.
Thank you.
You've done so many things. You've been so many things. I love to ask my guests really whether, with all of your incredible musical skills and CDs and performances and teachings, did you always want to know, Giuseppe, that you wanted to be a musician? How did that start?
Yes, I always wanted to be a musician since I was a kid, a child.
You
My
did?
first drums was on my parents' shoes boxes.
You do?
As my parents' shoes boxes, yes, the cartons boxes of the shoes.
Oh, shoe boxes.
Shoe box, yeah. Sorry
Ah,
for my English is not so perfect.
that's perfect. Shoe boxes. So what, did you play on them?
Sorry. So I play, yes. I just, I steal my mommy's spoon, wood spoon, to turn sauce. And they were my first drumsticks.
Italians make great sauce. So with that
Yes,
spoon,
yes.
nada nada.
So my mommy was an housewife. My father was a doctor, and he played piano self-taught, completely self-taught.
Ah,
And after his degree in medicine, my father moved to New York City in Brooklyn, and he was in Brooklyn for 2 years to get the masters, no? The master, yeah. And after he came back, otherwise my mommy didn't want to marry him. He wrote to him an ultimatum note. So, or you come, or I don't marry you anymore.
So he
And
decided.
my father was very fond of music. My father. So in my family, always I grew up with music, classical music, and just records. Huh?
Did you
I
take
will not say
lessons?
no
Did you take
jazz, not
formal
jazz.
lessons? Did you study formally?
I take first lessons I take formally was guitar, classical guitar for two
Ah,
years.
aha.
Because at that time, and I lived in Tuscany, in the coast of
The north.
yes, the center Italy, and it was so strange to speak to your parents. I want to play drums. It was not that time in Italy to play drums in an apartment. They will kill you. They will kill you. Not drum, not drums. I want to sleep. I I
So
want to rest.
did you switch
So
to the
your sister, my sister will study piano. Your sister
uh,
piano. You choose another instrument. I want
right?
drums. No drums. Okay, guitar. That's it. I was a guitarist for a couple of years, and after I bought my first drums. The same. I was self-taught for 3 years, and after I moved to Milan to study with the best master. No, in Italy, he died many years ago in Milan. Yes, after I start to play to study in the Conservatory of Music, classical percussion. I started this training, and I finished my degree in classical percussion and the jazz as well. I got 2 degrees, but in Italy it's very important to have piece of papers and to have a formal training if you want to be a professional, if you want to teach in a
Yes,
professional school.
yes.
That's it.
Well, so you chose really the jazz, you preferred the jazz to the classical. Although classical has a big
Yeah,
influence on you because I know
yeah,
from listening to a lot of your music that
mm, yeah.
Ravel
And
and Debussy have influenced you and others, of course, but jazz is the thing, really. But before we keep talking, though, um, Giuseppe, let's hear some music because I hate when
okay.
announcers keep talking and talking and then you don't hear the music. So we're talking,
So,
we want to,
right, you're right.
right? We want to hear the music from your latest CD, which is called Nake, which,
Okay.
as you said from the beginning, the ancient Greek meant sheepskin or goat skin, and later Sicilian dialect, naka, meant cradle. And I was reading that cradles of civilization have affected your styles
Yeah.
of music, like different influences of civilization have influenced your styles. So you've got a
Yes,
lot of
many.
different styles influencing your on your CD. So Jade, let's hear Nardis, in which is on the CD Nake, and I hear a lot of Debussy and Ravel influence on Nardis. So this is Nardis from the CD Nake, Giuseppe Urso. I say the beginning was taking a little piece of Ravel's, and then you went on to your own interpretation.
Yes, exactly. Yes, it was the project was on this piece in artist was a little introduction piano, solo piano from Ravel, and after contrast drums. The drums I play in a chorus of Nardis. I don't play a free drum solo. I play in the structure. I mean, in the melody of the songs is just two chorus drum solo, and after Papi, start the Nardis.
It's great. It's a great
In fact, people that listen to these Nardis play the drum solo, no sense. But if you hear, if you take careful your attention, I play the melody 2 times
I have to listen
in
again.
for, in the form, yes, in the form of the songs.
Okay, I will definitely listen again.
There's a big difference between a drum solo from rock music and from jazz music.
Yes.
Jazz drummers play in the melody, in the form. Mostly rock drummers play ad libitum solo, like Ian Pace did in Deep Purple, or John Bonham in,
But this is your
Moby,
interpretation.
Moby Dick, Moby Dick,
Ah, right,
the famous Moby Dick, Led Zeppelin.
right. Well, what should we hear next? I want to hear a different, completely different style. Um, Maybe we'll hear some of End of Summer, which I absolutely adore. Maybe because it's so melancholy, and I pine away for the at the end
Exactly.
of summer, and it's just so evocative. So Jade, maybe we could hear End of Summer, even though we don't even have End of Winter yet in New York. But let's hear.
Yes, I was coming back from yes, from September. I was coming back yes, from the beach, from the seaside, and I felt this kind of melancholy. Yeah.
I
So
totally
I choose to start with seagulls.
yes, beautiful.
Seagull sounds in the beginning, just to get more impressive the mood of the song. And the song there's no a real theme, a real melody. It's just a loop.
Well, here it comes, End of Summer. Giuseppe Orso from Naki. So Giuseppe, I feel the melancholy through all the technology. The beauty of the beach and the desperado of leaving the beach, and the seagulls. My favorite place in the world is the beach, so leaving it is always painful. But it's a gorgeous tune, gorgeous tune. Where
Thank you.
I love
I
to.
think not too much said. I think
No,
a
no,
little melancholic.
yes,
Yes, it
a little
is.
bit.
It is, of
A
course.
little bit is beautiful. I wanted to know where and when you like to compose. Do you prefer composing in a certain location, like home or at the beach or in a cafe or I don't know where? Or and when? What time of day?
I like to compose mostly at home,
At home.
in my school at the conservatory, because I have in both places I have coda piano. That's my favorite instrument to compose with. The piano in the end of summer and in Nake is recorded in my house. I have my recording studio, and I'm the sound engineer of my records too.
Ah,
I record myself all the music. So I'm responsible for the sound, for everything. And that's
and we have to say it's Da Vinci Publishing as well. That's
Da Vinci Publishing, yes, from Osaka, Japan. And the honor is I want to thank my uh, director of this label is Edmondo Filippini. He's
thank
from Italy, but he moved in Japan 12, 13 years ago. He married a Japanese archaeologist.
really. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
archaeologist. Yes,
Wow.
and he
Well,
was in love with with this woman, and
that's
nothing.
it.
He started his business there in Japan, and he's very 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 I will say full of productions. His line is full classical one and a jazz one.
Beautiful. And
Also, yeah,
trio, I want to mention the trio on the CD, Valerio
yes,
Rizzo,
Valerio Rizzo and
piano.
Stefano India. Valerio Rizzo is pianist, and Stefano India double bass and bass player, electric
Phenomenal.
bass too.
Well,
And I
Jade,
play piano in a couple of songs. End of summer, for example, I play also piano into songs.
okay. Well, I want to hear something else from Nake,
Yeah,
which is, to me, has a little bit of a Latin or Brazilian feel, impromptu. And you can tell
impromptu is
it's
yes.
another completely different feeling from
Yeah.
End of Summer. So Jade, let's play a little bit of
So
impromptu.
you know what? You
Yes,
know what impromptu it means. As it
spontaneous.
means improvisation, and
Uh-huh.
that's melody completely, totally improvised by me.
Ah,
I just sat down on the piano and I play and I record. After I wrote on the chart the music, and
that's
the theme, the melody is completely improvised.
okay. Well,
Improvisation, everything.
let's improvise our playing the next tune, which is impromptu.
Uh,
Giuseppe Orso.
it became a theme melody.
gorgeous. That was Impromptu by Giuseppe Urso. Had a great Latin Brazilian feel. And Giuseppe, you were just saying about feeling the dancing and the Brazilian feel.
Yes, but uh, in the beginning was supposed to play like a Brazilian tune. No, I just composed it on the piano, of course, and every time I don't compose any drum part. So just sit down and start to play what I feel my heart, and it was natural to play just a sort of bayon, jazz bayon, yes, Brazilian. From this groove it comes from Bahia,
Bahia.
northeast,
Have you been
northeast
there? Have you been
Brazil.
to Brazil?
No, I've never been.
Me
I
too.
had a girlfriend. I had a girlfriend for Brazil for a couple of years. I lived with her, but I met her here. No, I never been there.
Uh, One day we must go.
She was from Manaus, Amazonia.
But the feel of that tune is very dancy and again, a little bit upbeat, but a little bit dreamy. It's just very,
Yes,
a very
that's my
improvisational
nature.
feel. Feel like dancing on the beach now.
That's my human nature.
What's that?
I'm not a dancing guy, but um, I like to float away in my mind and to think about many things.
Well, that's a
I,
beautiful thing. And then you convey the dreaminess and the dancing.
that's about creativity. Yes, I think.
It's
Yes,
beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
yes. My main goal in this nake, in this
Yes.
record, was
Yes.
to blend melodies with not so simple, but not too much intellectual. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Sometimes jazz is too just for musicians. Instead the Mullah environment, all the standard, they went close to the people, to melody, to the mood of. Sometimes what from bebop had to now, sometimes jazz is too much intellectual to
To
and
understand and to feel it. To feel
yes
it.
I try to make a compromission between
Compromise.
intellectual things and easy things
To
uh,
feel, to access the music.
to access. Yes,
It's a
I
perfect.
because
Yes,
the simplicity is difficult
it is.
to get.
Because especially you're very, you have a complex brain and you think a lot. It
Yeah,
just doesn't happen. But it came out beautifully simple, even though there's a lot of complex things going on.
absolutely.
And
Of course, NAC is among certain kind of things. They are not commercial, of course, but you can get close to people heart.
yes,
And oh, my first goal is to go inside also people that never heard about jazz.
that's great goal because you get
For
people.
me, this is my challenge. The challenge
Uh,
is to get inside the mood of everyone. Because I
it's
think that our artist, I think exactly like Stravinsky. Stravinsky said that music is art of your time, and he has to blend, to mix, to fit your time, your the way you feel life.
yes, and you want to reach people no matter what their time is or their emotions are. And I think you succeed in this Nake CD.
Yeah,
I want to hear
thank
some
you.
of The Horse Whisperer because that's another
House
beautiful
Whisperer,
Nake.
Thomas Newman, is a
So we'll,
great composer from musical film scores. Yeah.
so here's The Horse Whisperer, Jade. now we've been listening to Giuseppe Orso's music and arrangements from this album Nake, and that was his arrangement of the Thomas Newman tune, "The Horse Whisperer" from the movie, the Robert Redford movie. And what made you want to take that tune, Giuseppe? Do you love horses?
Yes, I love horses, but
That was not the
I'm not. I never used to go in the horses. No, but I think it's good to take inspiration from different areas, and I think this is a very famous music from the old movie, and young people don't know.
That's right.
So
That's a
that's a good way
introduce.
to give a rebirth to a rebirth to an old song. In this case, Thomas Newman was a lot of Nobel no, prize. There was he got many prizes for the music. He's very famous composer,
Yes.
and I think this melody is very impressive. And you can you you feel in a in the western. Uh, it's very it was a challenge to a jazz trio playing this kind of tune. It's not normal, no. So
No, not really.
I like I like contrast in art. In
And that's
music is
what you
for to
see.
me it's important to have contrast.
Yes, not always the same, boring.
Yeah,
No, I mean you have such an amazing contrast in you have Etude number 2, you have End of Summer, more dreamy, and the impromptu. It's all very blended and beautifully done. And
yeah. They are so different melodies, so different inspiration, but they are connected
it's all
in a way.
it's all like a cradle. That
Exactly.
cradle blending different civilizations, different styles, and beautiful, beautiful, elegant, and I guess is that
Thanks.
partly your philosophy of life to incorporate different styles into your life?
Yes, always been in this manner. I always since 1995 was my first solo record, Vino de Cupa. It's still sold. I will send you. I will send you some music of Vino de Cupa, and I just blended a string quartet with four quartet, jazz quartet and string quartet. Um, I think mostly my passion is not only one kind of music, only one thing. I think I think exactly like Duke Ellington one did. Duke Ellington was used to say there are two kinds of music: bad music and good music. That was Duke Ellington. Instead, Charles Mingus was incredible. It was where jazz is going. What about jazz? I don't care about jazz. I think most important musicians to me, they are not used. They are uh, full of mystery. No, I think music is like pray. It's like a prayer. When you are in a church, you have to believe. It's a faith. And when you play, you have to relax yourself. The same is when you compose. Um, you know, when you are under the shower, you try to get the soap. No, if you try to guard the soap goes away. You, sometimes you just
Relax.
to relax. Yes,
Find the soap.
things come to you. The
Uh,
music tells you everything.
music
You don't tell nothing to music. Music tells you.
tells you, and your music has reached all of our hearts and souls and minds but mostly our hearts. And thank you so much, Giuseppe Urso. What is your website so people can?
Thank you.
What is your website, Giuseppe?
My GiuseppeUrso.com.
And that's
No,
G-I,
Giuseppe Urso music.com. Sorry.
and that's G-I-U,
www.giuseppeursomusic.com. Yeah. So
I-U-S-E-P-P-E-U-R-S-O music.
music.com. Right.
Grazie,
Right.
Giuseppe. It's such a pleasure. We're going to end
Thank to you.
World
Thanks
with,
for inviting me.
we're going to end this with sort of a promotion of your CD Nake. It's a beautiful video that you edited for Nake.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a blend
Teaser.
of
Yes.
different styles, and here's a little slice of Nake for you. Thank you, Giuseppe, from our hearts. Thank you, Jade.
Thanks. Thanks very much.